Hello Internet, and welcome to a new tutorial. In today's tutorial, I want to show you a simple trick to add grooves to your sequences in both Ableton Live and Bitwig. But before we dive into this tutorial, if you would like to support the channel, help me make more psychedelic tutorials and music, you can consider becoming one of my patrons or buy my presets on Gumroad, or just leave a like, comment, subscribe. This helps the channel a lot. Now, to create sequences in modern psytrance production, we can use tools like Rhythmizer or Autoplay that will create the sequences for us. But sometimes that's a little bit way too random, and we would like to go the old school way of programming our own sequence. And the problem with these sequences is that they will loop forever as they are unless we change them. But what if I told you that that's not the case anymore since the introduction of Ableton Live 11 and Bitwig 4? Let me show you. So here we are in Bitwig, and as I said, the trick works pretty well in both Ableton Live 11 and Bitwig 4 and later versions if you're watching this from the future. To keep this simple, I'm going to load a preset from my latest Serum preset bank called Serum Psyche Volume 1. You can find it on my Gumroad, and the preset is called Bubbling Farts. Sounds like this. Nothing too special. I'll take off the delay, like so. And what I'll do, I'll create a really simple sequence of a couple of bars. Nothing too special, you know. We're in G sharp. So what I'll do, I'll just... Now, to create a groove with this sequence, I'm going to play with the note length of the individual notes. Okay, perfect. So now we have this. And this preset actually uses velocity modulation. So what we'll do is we'll create some randomization with these velocity values really, really fast. Just like so. Okay, perfect. Now what I'll do, I'll just loop this sequence over our pattern, like so. Now, the trick is actually in this little option in here called chance. So the actual trick is inspired by the Funk Arp Max for Live device by Aja. And the Funk Arp device, actually, last note, it has some sort of a probability on it. Sometimes it'll play and sometimes it won't. And I think this trick actually adds a lot of groove, to the sound, because sometimes, it'll play, sometimes it won't. And we can replicate the same thing in here. So, but instead of being just on the last note, I'll add it on several notes of the whole sequence. So for example, the first note in here, this. So now what will happen is that these notes will sometimes play and sometimes they won't. And this will add a lot of groove to the sound, because we're adding the sequence is looping anyways, and it's going to sound basically the same. And by adding some notes that will loop or that will play or not from time to time, we'll just add like a tiny bit of like something interesting, going on with the sequence. I hope that makes sense. This is pretty nice because, even devices like Autoplay has this probability knob to it, but it's still way too random, But now you have the control over the probability because you know that these specific notes will play or won't play. I hope that makes sense. It's just like getting another layer of control over your random or like semi-random sequence depending on the sound design that you've already made. And now I want to show you a little trick inside of Bitwig, which, too bad, Ableton doesn't have it, which is the operators. of Bitwig. So this is pretty nice because we can, with the operators, ask it to, for example, this note in here, we can ask it to play only if this note plays or if this note won't play. So let's see, this one will play only if this one won't play. This one will play only if this one will play. This one, same thing. Won't play if... no, this one won't play if this one will play. And you get the idea. And now we will have something that sounds like this. Pretty nice, huh? Now, for sure, what I'm making here is pretty random, and in a real life situation, we won't take like arbitrary decisions like these, but I hope you got the idea. Now, what I'll do, I'll just add a little bit of delay in here, and maybe some time warping, and with the kick and bass, we'll get this. And with this is the end of this tutorial. I really hope you've liked it, and I really hope you've learned something new. See you next time.